Hello and welcome, guys, back to another lesson of Algebra 1 with your favorite math teacher, Mr. Sanchez. Alright, so today we're using a white background. Why not? Um, and we will be covering lesson 28-3 from your book. That lesson is multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So that's what we're doing today, right? Our first learning target, multiply rational expressions. And our second learning target is divide rational expressions. Pretty straightforward targets, right? It's just pretty straightforward. All right, so first we're gonna go into examples on how to multiply rational expressions. To be able to do any of these, you need to know how to factor. And so if you don't know how to factor, you gotta go back to that lesson where we went over factoring. I think it was 26-2, but or 27, one of those two. But all right, without further ado, we're just gonna go straight into the examples of multiplying. So our first example says multiplying. What are we going to do when we are multiplying? All right, so this is our example. It's 2x to the fourth. 2x minus 4, I mean, over a quantity x squared minus y, 2 minus 1, excuse me, and multiplied times the fraction 3x plus 3 over x squared minus 2x. So first, step 1, factor numerators and denominators. Alright, so that's our first step, right? Alright, so let's start out with 2x minus 4. We're going to factor this, right? So these are both even. This is 2 times x minus, and then we'll mix up 2 times 2. Right? I mean 4, 2 times 2, right? If you look at these two here, they both have a 2 here. So we're going to take that out, and we're going to put that outside right here. And then we're going to bring down the x minus 2. We're going to group these together, and then this like that. All right, so that's the first one. All right, and I'm just gonna label them. This is A, this is B, this is C, and D. And now we're gonna all right, so we already factored A. Now we gotta factor C. All right, so we're gonna put dotted lines around it because it's important. All right, and then we're gonna have 3x plus 3. Oh, what do they both have in common? They both have in common this 3 right here. And so we're just going to pull that out. And so it's going to be, you pull out the 3. 3x divided by 3 is just x. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we're going to box this. Alright, so these are our numerators. And now we're going to look at b, which is x squared minus 1. This is a difference of squares. So we know we can break this up to x plus 1 times x minus 1. If you don't know how to get this answer, you got to go back and review, because you should be able to do this by now. We've had enough practice, and to be honest, I can't be spending the whole video going over this. We have more important things to cover. Now we have x squared minus 2x, all right? And so this has 2x's here, and this has 1x. So we're going to factor that out. That's going to be x times x minus 2. Remember, because this here is x times x. So you can take this one out with this one. Alright. Remember, this is A, this is B, C, and D. So now that we simplified it, we're going to rewrite the problem, okay? So it's going to be 2x minus 2, right? Because this part is the part that goes here. Right? Over, and then our B, which is x plus 1 times x minus 1, multiplied by our C on the top, which is 3, x plus 1, over our D, which is x times x minus 2. Alright. So step 2 is divide out common factors. Alright. And the easiest way to do that is you're just gonna rewrite your problem, but this time, right? So you're gonna rewrite your problem. Only this time you're gonna put everything together. And this is gonna give us the following. Alright. So you're gonna look for things that look the same. You're gonna notice this x plus minus 2 is this x minus 2. So we're gonna cancel that out because anything over itself cancels it out. So that goes away. And we can make it go away because we're multiplying, alright? That's the reason we're doing that. Next, we're going to try and look for some other stuff that looks the same. If you notice here, there's an x minus 1 on top. So you want to look for an x minus 1 on the bottom. That's right here. So we're going to cancel out that as well. And nothing else looks the same. So now we're just going to simplify our answer, alright? So what's 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 6. And then we're just going to leave the bottom part factored. So x plus 1 times x. So x times x plus 1. And that's your final answer. And that's how we do it. So the hardest part here would be simplifying your problems, which is why we spend a couple of assignments working on that. All right. So what we're going to do next is just going to do another example on how to multiply before we go into division. Because I do find that the division is a little bit harder, but if you master the multiplication, then you realize division is really easy. All right. So we're going to go over here. And remember, we're just going to label these. I like labeling A, B, C, and D. And then we're just going to, step 1 is factor, right? So what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to relabel them. So A is equal to y squared plus 5y plus 6. And we're going to factor that. And then I'm going to have B here, right? So this is A, this is B. Cool thing is, we don't have to do anything for B. We're done. All right. But let's look at and then for C that's just y, and for D it's 2y plus 6. So this is just y. You're done. All right. But in order to factor a problem like this, if you go back to your previous lessons, remember we got to do the x method. All right. So we want to multiply to 6, and we want to add to 5. All right. And that's pretty straightforward. What multiplies to 6? 3 and 2. When you multiply 3 times 2, that's 6. And then when you add them up together, that's 5. So this is going to be y plus 3 times y plus 2. Alright, so we're done with that one. And so B and C are done because those are just regular stuff. But now we're going to look at D. Okay, just give me one moment, guys. There seems to be an issue with my iPad. Later, okay. Remind me later. Sorry about that. Let's go back here. It's still not working. Let's see what happens if I cancel this out. Sorry about the technical difficulties. All right, so now it's working. Sorry about that, but you know, technology sometimes gets clunky. All right, so here we're gonna rewrite this as 2 times y, and then 1 multiplies to 3, 2 to 6. 2 times 3, right? We'll keep our plus. So we're gonna want to take out whatever's the same, right? So we're gonna take this out. These 2, so we're gonna take that out, and then we're gonna group the y plus 3. All right. Now that we have this, all our things factor out, we're gonna reassemble our fractions, right? So we're gonna do, and remember it was a over b plus c times c over d, right? And so what we're gonna do is we're going to rewrite it. So it's going to be y plus 3 times y plus 2 all over y plus 2. And then we're going to multiply y over 2y plus 3. Okay? And so after we've done that, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to... Step 2 is... what was step 2? Divide out common factors. So step 2 would be... Alright, so you see how we have a y plus 3 here? We have a y plus 3 here. And we have a y plus 3 here. We can cancel those out. So we're going to cancel this out. And then if you'll notice, we have a y plus 2 here and a y plus 2 here. So we can also cancel those out. Alright, and then we simplified as much as we can. That's all we can cancel out. So all we're left with is y over 2 as our final answer. Okay? Next up, we're going to go over how to divide. And the cool thing about division, it's just almost the exact same thing as multiplying. Only it has one extra step. And it's just the same step we would do when we're dividing with any fractions. Alright, so we're going to go over to example 3 over here. Alright, so example 3 states this. Alright. So step 1 is really the only difference. Rewrite. Our step 1 is rewrite the division as multiplication by the reciprocal. And if you don't remember what the reciprocal is, oh guys, Google that. But basically all we're going to do is, this is our initial problem. We're going to rewrite it. And all we're going to do is we're going to write x squared. The first fraction stays the same. Right, the first fraction stays the same. We're going to change multiplication. That's going to change to division to multiplication. And then all we're going to do is we're going to flip this fraction. So what we're going to do now is the x squared plus 2x is now going to be on the top. And the 2x minus 4 is going to be on the bottom. All right, it's pretty easy, trust me, guys. All right, and now then the second step is going to be step 2 is going to be factor top and bottom. Factor factor. Step 2 would just be factoring. All right, we can label these A, B, C, and D. All right, so for A, we're going to need to do, for A, this part, we're going to do x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, so that's going to involve the x method, right? We want to multiply to 6, but add up to negative 5. 1 multiplies to 6 is 3 and 2. And to make them, so since the second part is positive, that means that both our numbers have to be negative right here. So when we factor this, we're going to have x minus 3 times x minus 2. Okay? And then for part B, it's x squared minus 9. So that's a difference of squares. We should know how to do differences of squares. So we're going to do x plus 3, x minus 3. And so that's that. And then we're running short on time, so this is going to be our last example. And then for C, that's going to be x squared plus 2x minus 3. That's going to be x plus 3 times x minus 1. Alright, and then for D, it's going to be 2x minus 4. That's both divisible by 2, so we're going to have x minus 2. Alright, and the reason I skipped steps right now is because we're running short on time for the video. And so we're just gonna do x minus 3 times x minus 2 over x plus 3, x minus 3 times x plus 3 over times x minus 1 over 2x minus 2. And then we're just going to cancel out anything that looks the same. So x minus 3 is here and here. So that's going to go away, right? And we're going to look at x minus 2 here, x minus 2 here. So that's going to go away. And we're going to have x plus 3 here and x plus 3 here. So that's going to go away. And all we're left with is x minus 1 as our answer. Oh, nope. I lied. And we have this 2 under here, so we're going to have over 2. And we're done. And that's the lesson, guys. Bye-bye.